Grace said with feeling. I'm 16, Mom. I'll have my real license in 4 months. So what'll happen then? I'll be driving myself places all the time, because we don't only live on the opposite end of town from everyone else. We live in the middle of nowhere, because Dad decided he had to buy a gazillion acres to build a McMansion in the forest, which he then decided he didn't want. So he left it and us and moved to Vermont to live with his long-lost love from 25 years ago. Grace. Deborah couldn't go there just then. Grace might feel abandoned by her father, but the loss hit Deborah harder. Her marriage wasn't supposed to end. That hadn't been in the plan. Okay, forget Dad, Grace went on. But once I get my license, I'll be driving places alone, and you won't see who's there or whether there's a parent around or whether we're studying or having a party. You're going to have to trust me. I do trust you, Deborah said, defensive herself now, but pleading. It's the others I don't trust. Weren't you the one who told me Kyle brought a 6-pack to the pool party at Catherine's house last weekend? None of us had any. Catherine's parents made him leave. Catherine's parents. Exactly. Deborah heard her growl. Mom, we were studying. Deborah was about to list the things that could happen when teenagers were studying. Things she had seen both growing up when her father was the only family doctor in town, and now being in practice with him and treating dozens of local teenagers, when a flash of movement entered her line of sight on the right. In quick succession came the jolt of a weighty thud against the front of the car, the slam of brakes, the squeal of tires. Her seatbelt tightened, holding her while the car skidded on the flooded pavement, fish-tailed, and spun, all in the space of seconds. When it came to a stop, they were facing backward. For a minute, Deborah didn't hear the rain over the thunder of her heart. Then, above it, came Grace's frightened cry. What was that? Are you okay? What was that? The girl repeated, her voice shaking this time. Deborah was starting to shake too, but her daughter was upright, belted in, clearly okay. Scrabbling to release her seatbelt, Deborah hiked up the hood of her slicker and ran out to search for whatever it was they had hit. The headlights reflected off the wet road, but beyond that paltry light it was totally dark. Ducking back into the car, she fumbled through the glove box for a flashlight. Outside again, she searched the roadside, but saw nothing that remotely resembled a downed animal. Grace materialized at her elbow. Was it a deer? She asked, sounding terrified. Deborah's heart continued to pound. I don't know. Sweetie, get back in the car. You don't have a jacket. It was a warm enough spring night. She just didn't want Grace seeing what they had hit. It had to be a deer, Grace cried. Not even hurt, just ran off into the woods. What else could it be? Deborah didn't think a deer wore a running suit with a stripe up the side, which was what she swore she had seen in the split second prior to impact. A running suit meant something human. She walked along the edge of the road, searching the low shrubs with her light. Hey, she called out to whoever was there. Are you hurt? Hello? Let me know where you are. Grace hovered at her shoulder. Like, it came from nowhere, Mom. No person would be out here in the rain. So maybe it was a fox or a raccoon. Or a deer. It had to be a deer. Get back in the car, Grace, Deborah repeated. The words were barely out when she heard something, and it wasn't the idling car. Nor was it the whine of wind in the trees or the rain splattering everything in sight. The sound came again, definitely a moan. She followed it to a point at the side of the road and searched again, but it was another minute before she found its source.